Many fans who earned this shit. Welcome to MDG Media's coverage of the Sieravuori Open 2023. This is the 9th stop on the Euro Tour. We got round 1 front 9 coverage from the MPO feature card. Andrew Gum here, joined by Elias Lukonen.
What's up, Andrew? What's up, viewers? Yeah, super nice to be here. Excited for this event that this time I'm not playing myself, but I guess more of a spectator role here. And let's look at the card here. We got Joona Heinänen, of course, a great backhand thrower. He has been playing solid throughout the season, as you can see by that rating. It's not a rating you reach by playing bad, huh?
1022, that's great. He's Innova sponsored, and they're the title sponsor for this event. Getting close to their 40-year anniversary, so great to have them supporting this event. We also have Hjalte Jensen from Denmark. He's sponsored by Discmania Discs. Another young gun, super talented.
Yep, and another one here, Rasmus Saukkoriipi. One of the highest potentials in any player you're gonna find in the world. Throws super far with both backhand and forehand, and just take a look at his technique on some of the longer holes. He's got beautiful form on his throw.
Yeah, one of the most exciting and entertaining players in the world for sure. Another Innova sponsored player. We also have Miro Ryhänen. He's having a great year. And yeah, excited to watch him play here. Doing really well on the Euro Tour all season long. Get it started on hole 1. It's a beautiful par 4, 234 meters with OB on the left and right. It bends pretty gently and slowly from right to left. And then you see the green quite far off on the left here, protected by some birch trees and a couple canals that sort of define the green here. Some drainage ditch, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty tricky starting hole, playing as the 4th most difficult hole on the course. 4.36 average, so playing definitely above par.
There you hear everybody giving knucks and wishing good luck. Here's
Joona starting off here.
with a
He's
big bomb.
also a player that throws very far if needed. Also some good technique. And that's a nice shot to start off the round. Pushing that right edge of the fairway, but never really flying over OB.
And the next at the tee.
Yeah, nice rip there from Joona.
Mania from Denmark, Hjalte Jensen.
Players get introduced by Mikko Hakkinen. Very familiar voice and face here in Finland on the disc golf scene.
Yeah, we're starting to have some of those more familiar characters on tour, which I gotta say I love. And of course these players, as well as Hjalte, is throwing a rip, going with that cloud breaker perfectly down the middle. That's a beautiful shot. Not many times throughout the season has Hjalte probably been not the biggest arm on the card, but today that is most definitely the case.
This one just a little bit too wide on the right side. Unfortunately finds that OB. Do you know anything about Miro's sponsorship situation?
There has been some rumors about Miro being approached by various companies, and no wonder with shots like that he has been throwing throughout the whole season. He has been playing so solid. And honestly, I think for next season, he can just walk into any team that he wants to.
Yeah, just pick whatever he feels like is best. He's had a great year, but currently unsponsored by a main manufacturer, and his upshot gets through most of those trees. He'll have a circle 2 look for it.
And Joona here, looks like he's going with the mid-range, so that's a sign of a big drive here. Trying to shape that in between the trees. And look at that shot. He's gonna have just an inside the circle look. Although might have to struggle with those branches a little bit. We'll have to see whether that really affects him or not. And this is Rasmus with the Toro.
Yeah, Rasmus trying to defend his title here from last year. This is his only win, only PDGA win of his career. It was a B tier last year, a 2-day event. But he took down some big names, including one of the legends, Philo Brathwaite. Beat him by a stroke.
Yeah, that was a great battle last year. Remember not seeing it live, but on coverage, and it was just awesome. As we saw Hjalte with a bit of an errant approach there. And Rasmus here trying to save his par, but unable to do so. He's going to have to start off with a bogey.
Hjalte is a little bit high and left. He's going to have a little bit of a comebacker now.
Yeah, nobody really drawing medal here from far distance. Looks like Joona has a good opportunity though here from well inside the circle. And that's surprising. He's a very solid inside the circle putter normally.
Yeah, I wonder if that tree was just a little bit too awkward. Kind of had to crouch down a little bit, but yeah, definitely one you want to get from that distance.
And what do you think, Andrew? I mean, I wasn't present for this event, but judging by the ratings, this must be one of the softer courses on the Euro Tour. I mean, 5 under par was, I believe, rated 1,000. That is so tough to see.
It felt to me personally like the ratings are quite low for the difficulty. It's a very scoreable course, but then it's kind of tricky as well. They had some really heavy rains like all week leading up to it, so some of the fairways were a little bit soggy. It's starting to dry out now, but it's a really beautiful, fun course to play. But yeah, I feel like the ratings kind of, for some reason, seem a little bit low as far as what it feels like the difficulty is.
Yeah, I feel like that can sometimes happen with these smaller fields, as the event was not like fully filled out. But tell us about hole 2, Andrew.
Hole 2 is a beauty. This is just like classic disc golf hole, straight as an arrow through the woods here, 97 meters. So one you want to get, but you have to, put it on a pretty tight line and keep it straight all the way up there to the basket. It's kind of like what you see is what you get on this one. It's just a straight shot, tight woods.
And this one also being one of the more difficult holes on the course. Surprisingly with only 3.05 average, so just barely playing above par. Let's see if Joona can shape this one. He has a really good release for this shot, and you can just see why. That is beautiful. Gonna have another one of those inside the circle putts there to hopefully correct the mistake from hole 1.
Yeah, straight down the pipe with that drive. Beautiful line. That's all the way up there, circle's edge, I believe. This course is kind of unique for Finland. It's you're like in the deep woods here, not too close to any cities or anything. But then all the most of the fairways are like really lush green grass and stuff. So it's a lakeside holiday resort property. So lots going on there and beautiful, peaceful place.
Yeah, looking so pretty already on video. I can just imagine it's even better in person. As Rasmus is going for another Toro here, showing off some pretty impressive control, able to go 100 meters with that slow approach disc.
Yeah, skipped off a little stump there into the bullseye. Park job.
Hjalte from Circle 2, he's known for his Circle 2 putts, but not this time.
He's got some great range for sure. Miro's a really good putter.
Miro ei missaa! Kava! Ei paineita seuraaville.
Miro don't miss. Putting it in there. Nice putt.
Yeah, a bit of almost like a mental game from Tommy Tikko there, saying Miro don't miss, no pressure on the next ones. But Joona there not feeling any pressure as he makes a good putt from that 8-meter range.
Yep.
Rasmus back to par there with a nice birdie.
Pretty nice play from the group there, having 3 birdies on a hole that's definitely not a gimme.
No, it's a pretty tight gap. Moving on to hole 3, par 4, 176 meters. OB both sides here, and it kind of pinches down right where you got these 3 kind of skinny birch trees in the line. You want to try to push past them if you can on the drive, and then you'll have the hole will turn from left to right, and try to just get up and down. It's, pretty short par 4, but quite technical as well with all the OB there and those trees to beat. And then really beautiful green here with this nice feature, the rock and the trees there on the left side of the basket.
Seems like a extremely birdieable hole as almost half the field is getting a birdie on this one. So I'm sure all of the guys on our feature card and try to do that, and looks like Joona will have a great chance from there.
Yeah, he's in fine position. It's definitely one you want to get. This one drifting through the gap and do a good spot.
Super good shot there from Miro. And some people that might be wondering, where has Miro Ryhänen came from for this season? He actually had a bit of an injury, I believe a back injury last season, so that's why he wasn't really playing on the big stage, but very well healed now, and he's showing off his skills, as we saw a beautiful forehand from Rasmus, showing off that power on both sides.
Yeah, Miro, he won the Finnish national doubles title last year with Teemu Talikainen. But he didn't tour, I guess, very much with the injury.
Yeah, I believe that was in the late season when he was getting healed, but a very good win for him. And he's going to show off some of that forehand that he's not really known for, but wow, he's got it down perfectly there.
Seems very serviceable. Gets it right there in the bullseye ring. Just a little chip shot forehand right next to the basket.
Not the longest approaches, really. This is, how much is the distance from here? About 60, 70, maybe 75?
Yeah. Yeah, if you push past those birch trees, then you have just a pretty straight up and down that's quite wide open, and it's, not much more than 70 meters in most spots.
Hjalte even looks like he's gonna jump putt his approach. That's a crazy drive.
That's crazy. Nice one.
Wow, that is easy. I mean, I guess as it should be. It's a pretty simple hole, playing well below par, and with that 48% birdie rate, It's no surprise that these quality players on our card will get the birdie.
Yeah, very scoreable hole. The only mistake not to make is to kind of overturn it and get OB on the right side, or potentially, you know, miss it on the left as well. But it seems like the more common miss is on the inside right, where you either kick that way or just kind of overcook it a little bit. Nice star frame there. Tommy representing for the card, shaking the chains. Hole 4, par 3, 116 meters. Got to punch through this gap with a, I guess, bit of a hyzer touch if it's a righty backhand shot. It moves gently to the left, and then there's a really late gap to make as well, which is kind of, I guess it's right here that you see. It's blind off the tee, this gap, so you kind of have to trust your instincts in practice rounds. But you see a lot of, or the shots that look good off the tee that sometimes catch something late there. It's kind of hard to account for all the trees there at the end, you know.
Yeah, seems definitely like a tricky hole to park.
Exactly.
But not very bogeyable. There's only 12% of the field getting a bogey on this one. So I guess the wide initial gap making it pretty simple to get your par. And Joona there, that's a nice kick. Staying inside the circle, even off that tree.
Yeah, there you see some of those late trees. You'll still be in circle 2 with an opportunity, but...
Rasmus, once again, pretty amazing. I think he's going with a gator here. I think that's his...
Dude has, yeah.
That's a big, big shot.
He's got so much power. That one pushes a little straight. I think he's going to have a circle 2 look if it's open. Not too sure. It can be a bit cluttered on that right side.
And Hjalte there with, I believe, an FD1, if I'm not mistaken. Pushed out a little bit to the right. Not quite able to get that slight hyzer angle off the hand. So nobody really parked here, but we do have some opportunities to see some highlight putts.
Oh, look at how easy he makes that look. That was deep circle 2 and just right on the money. What a sweet highlight.
Wow, and he saw that already out of his hand. Just look at this. The release out of the hand, and all the way halfway through, he knows it's pretty much in. Just staring it down there, but wow. He's such a good putter, and he has one of the most consistent releases, I feel like.
It's a beautiful thing. He's got himself a turkey now. That well-earned slow-mo replay. Hjalte's bid with the low ceiling comes up a little bit short left.
Yeah, Hjalte, who I believe originally, at least partly, as that's a nice putt from Rasmus. But yeah, talking about Hjalte, I believe one reason why he was originally wanting to attend this tournament was to have a chance to get a USDGC spot, but as he got one from Aldo Taguse, still deciding to play this one, and I'm sure he's not unhappy about it as the course is looking beautiful.
Oh, it's a joy to play here, that's for sure. There's also a Champions Cup spot up for grabs for the winner for next year. Out the in for par. We actually had an ace on this hole today from Levi Isotalo. That must have been an amazing shot.
The Wombat 3 pretty much goes right where you want to throw it. One of the most difficult shots to throw in disc golf is a perfectly straight shot, and the Wombat 3 does that really, really well.
Yeah, huge thanks to Innova for making this happen. They put down a bunch of money. There's a really great players pack with Halo Star Destroyers. You get a jacket, free meal. Saturday just came from there. Really good food. It's a great event. Really fun to play. Hole 5, par 3, 150 meters. This is a tough one. Quite a bonus birdie. You got this OB tennis court here on the left and OB on the right side as well as right behind, even inside the circle on the back side there. It's OB, so pretty long distance shot that requires quite a bit of touch as well.
Super difficult hole. It's the second most difficult one on the course, and with only 8% of the field getting a birdie on this. And this is looking pretty nice from Joona. A little bit wide on that right side, but would you think he's playing a little bit safe to turn away from that tennis court?
Yeah, that's pretty smart way to play it. Give yourself a circle 2 look without taking any big risks. Like I said, it's a bonus birdie, but if you can get yourself up there with an opportunity, it's really hard to park this one. I haven't seen anything quite like that, but I've seen some people get to see one, and a lot of C2 looks there on the right side.
Here's one guy that can definitely get into circle 1 here. Although this looks way too high. This must be challenging the tennis courts.
That's never really had a chance. He's going to be OB in a bit of an awkward spot, too. He's going to be like, he can take a meter off of that fence, but it's going to leave him a bit of an awkward approach.
Hjalte kind of doing the same thing.
Good, yeah.
Or the same as Joona. But wow, nice finish there. I thought he was going to turn more to the right, but that's pretty much the perfect shot there.
Yeah, really great line and some serious stability on that disc. Came back right on time and skipped him up to about 6-7 meters. Here you see Rasmus with that awkward approach, and he hits the corner of the fence there. It's going to be a tester for the bogey.
Miro there just laying up for the par. Common score here, 54% of the field getting a par.
That's a nice birdie. That's 4 in a row for Joona. That's a really good start.
Rasmus.
I feel like some of the tougher holes on this course start in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and not looking like that for this card, as we have a lot of green on the scorecard.
That was a nice putt there, though, from Rasmus. Saved the bogey from circle's edge. Right in the heart.
Yeah, really important one. If he had missed that, it would have been pretty much a catastrophe at the start of the round. But nice birdie from Hjalte there, and he's got himself to under par there.
Great to see those 2 birdies, yeah. We move on to hole 6, par 3, 104 meters. 2 kind of options here as to attack the basket. You got the right side here that where the drone's flying, which is the kind of righty backhand hyzer. You can either kind of try to like skip it up there or try to power it through, but a lot of those kind of push too straight and get caught up in these trees on the right. There's also a left side line for forehand or even a turnover shot if you like. So kind of really nice hole with options.
Yeah, interesting to see what's the shot that these guys are going for. Looks like Joona is lining up the right side hyzer there.
I think it's the biggest gap there on the right side. And whoa, that's nice. Totally parked, yeah. Right there on the bullseye's edge. He made that look really easy.
Yeah, he did. And Hjalte here, I believe, beat in splice. So pretty overstable disc. Not really flying that overstable though.
That's in a bad place. Deep dark woods there. Some of the rough here is extremely rough. But then the fairways are so clean and tidy. It's a special place. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to have on a course, to have that contrast between the fairway and the rough. And wow. Such a beautiful shot from Miro as well. Hitting the fairway just perfectly. Going with a slow fairway driver there.
Yeah, it looked like he chopped down one little branch, but it didn't slow him at all and put him in a perfect place. Another great shot. That was the forehand line, pure as can be. About 5 meters left for the birdie. Okay, Hjalte wasn't in that bad of a spot after all. I thought that was quite a bit deeper there on the left, but he must have got a good kick. He's able to just pitch it up there for the easy par.
Yeah, looks like everybody else is gonna take a birdie, so Hjalte probably not too happy about that par. It's one of the easier ones on the course, playing as the 5th easiest, 0.23 strokes below par on average, so definitely one you would like to birdie.
Yeah, 34% of the field getting it, and we also had an ace from Pavo Puto.
Wow, congratulations. That's a very nice ace.
For sure. Hole 7, par 3, 113 meters. Straight down the tunnel here that you see. Moves a little bit left to right at the very end. And it's quite a bit uphill at the end as well. And a pretty well guarded basket, elevated slightly. You can't really see the basket too well off the tee either. So kind of a touchy straight shot that moves a little bit to the right at the end if you want to park it.
How's the forehand play here?
Pretty good. I've seen a couple good forehands. Kind of just blast it there and hope to get a little bit of a skip up the hill. It actually shapes up really nice for a good power forehand.
Nice. I suppose we're probably going to see that from Rasmus, as Joona there a bit too heavy on the turnover. Looks like he got the line pretty good, but just turned it over too much. Or a bit of a low shot. I'm not sure which one.
Oh, rough kick there. Maybe not the worst case, though. It looked like it might have moved forward enough that maybe he can find some kind of a window or something. Manufacture a way up to the basket. Here's that forehand from Rasmus you're talking about. Firebird, I believe.
Nice line there.
And
wow. Incredible shot. He's been throwing that Firebird. That specific Firebird he has been throwing all over the place throughout the entire season, and it's flying very good most of the time.
Hjalte going backhand. Early release. Or not early, I guess like grip lock, more like. And fights through somehow all the way up there. It's going to be on circle's edge, I believe.
Yeah, pretty good result with that late of a release. Let's see if Joona can give it a good bait here. Not quite, and he has actually got some work left to do there with that bit of an annoying roll.
Oh, that just kisses off the top. Stays pretty close, though. Good effort. Here's Hjalte, slightly out of position, but really good result considering he pretty much shanked it.
Yeah, that's tough to
Not
see.
able to get it in.
Hjalte not exactly dialed in right now. But Rasmus there, getting already his 5th birdie. If he can just clean up some of those bogeys, he's gonna shoot really hot.
Yeah, no pars yet through 7. Wild roller coaster ride. Joona's got 5 birdies and he's keeping it clean. Good pace there.
I'm still just thinking about how beautiful this Finnish forest is looking like. The colors are so good and everything's so lush right now. We've had some good rain in Finland for the past couple of months. So no wonder the nature is looking beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great observation. The colors are really popping. Yeah, like I said, it gotten heavy rain, but then the sun came out the last couple days and it's been just really paradise. Hole 8, par 3, 90 meters, downhill quite a bit. Pretty tight. You want it to kind of just sort of drift a little bit left at the very end here. Looking like one of those holes I thought we'd see an ace on. Haven't yet. Kind of a touchy little, like, tight downhill forest shot.
Yeah, it looked like there was some really tight gaps at the end. So probably a lot of people, being left at that edge of circle range. But wow, look at that kick off the first tree on the left. That's super lucky there.
A little ping pong. Seems to get down most of the way. But yeah, there's a really tight kind of entrance point to the very end of the green. It's about circle's edge. So yeah, you do see a lot of stuff get caught up there right on the edge or just outside the circle. Joona's going with a really high hyzer line. I guess you can kind of just take all the gap out of the equation and go up over the top. I'm not sure exactly where it finished, but
I think I saw something dropping inside the circle there. So that's a great result if it's him. And this looks like a nice line. Wow.
Yeah, that's pure.
So much speed.
Sensei right down the gut. Finishes inside the circle.
Hjalte here, this would be a great time to get his round going. He's having a bit of a slow scoring round. This needs to finish left to right. Oh, and that's just hitting some of the last trees.
I think it was a pretty good kick, though. I didn't see exactly where it's at, but it looked like it moved towards the basket. That one's just a little bit left side.
Oh, so Joona did end up on the edge of the circle. That's a pretty nice one.
Yep.
Just not able to connect on that. Unfortunate there. Hjalte with a good birdie. Good to see him getting further under par.
Miro moving to 5 down. The clean sheet. First par for Rasmus. And a par for Joona as well. Hole 9, par 4, 160 meters. Quite a few twists and turns and about 1 million trees. It's a tight one with an interesting shape. It moves uphill here and then it turns again here at the very end back to the right. This is a very demanding hole.
Yeah, playing.
The distance isn't much, but it's tight, yeah.
Yeah, playing is just very difficult with that 4.42 average. And 43% of the field getting an over par score here. So anything par or below is just very acceptable.
Yeah, totally. There's a really beautiful view of the lake here behind the tee. Very serene. Just Finnish nature at its finest. Everything's super peaceful. There's no real cities or even towns close by, so you don't hear anything except just complete solitude, and it's a really, really beautiful place.
Rasmus is looking up here. We saw a bit of an errant shot from Miro and Hjalte on the fairway. That was very aggressive. Wow.
I guess it worked out. I guess this is the big iron play. Just go up over the top of everything and try to kind of drop down somewhere where you hope you have a gap. It's not the most popular hole for the players because this, like, the tee shot's particularly tricky. You can't really bite off very much on it. And then sometimes you throw a really good shot, or it feels like a good shot, and you get up there and it's just like you still have to scramble all the way.
Yeah, looks like a super tight hole. I'm sure many of the players might wish for a couple of trees cut down, but Miro, they're able to make some progress. I suppose he will probably have still a chance for the par, correct?
Oh yeah. It's going to take some good work though. It's, as you can see, there's a lot of trees, and some of these gaps are even, I feel like, even tighter looking in person, but it's an interesting hole and very challenging. It can get out of hand pretty quick. Like, the rough is crazy rough, and then even the fairway is full of trees. We did have one park job today for the birdie. I'll wait for a moment to shout that out, but that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, not gonna be Rasmus there, but that looked like a tough position where he was at. I'm sure he's just fine with making that progress. Definitely seems like a hole that can kind of ruin your round if you let it get inside of your head.
Oh, totally. One or two bad kicks and you can be taking a big number here and not have done anything too wrong, really. It's just kind of one of those holes that can really, really bite you. That seems to not hit anything. Get all the way up there into the circle. Nice touch.
Yeah, I believe he's gonna have a birdie putt there from just inside the circle, which must be just a great result after two on this one.
Yeah. Only 13% of the field able to get the birdie today. That one park job coming from Vetti Kempi. Nicely done.
Nice. He's actually from Espoo, same area where I'm from, and we have a significant amount of holes, kind of like this, you know, those tight wooded short holes. As neither Rasmus or Miro are able to connect from circle 2. But let's see Joona here for the birdie from just 8 meters.
There we go. That's a great way to finish the front 9. 6 down. A little bonus birdie here on 9. Right side corner pocket putt there from Rasmus.
Yep, good enough. I'm sure he's not exactly happy with his front 9 of 3 under. As we saw, he has so much more potential there. As does everybody on the card, really. You know, there's a couple of holes that seem like they can definitely bite you. But judging by Joona's play, it's possible to birdie even like each and every one of these holes if you just get everything correct.
Yeah, definitely. It's very scoreable. But then there's also a lot can go wrong. And so if everything's clicking and you know you're feeling it, then shred mode can be totally activated for sure. But if you're off just a little bit, yeah, it can start to unwind pretty quick. There we see the results from the first round, front 9. Joona on fire, leading the charge. followed by Nestori, Teemu, and Levi all at 5 down. Handful of others at 4 and 3. So I think everyone on the card's off to a pretty good start relative to the field. Yeah, make sure you support MDG Media on Patreon. That goes a long way to help continue to bring you this high quality disc golf coverage. Elias, thanks for joining me. It's been super fun. What do you think so far?
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful course, and I'm excited for the back 9. Thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Miro. See you on the back 9.